Hi, Mr. Frenchie here. We're going to record another Storm video. This is the first match of a competitive league, and this hand really needs a land or a cantrip, but I think we'll keep this on the draw. I'm going to be playing the same list I played in Grand Prix Vancouver with a slight sideboard change. Basically, I cut Hurkyl's Recall and a single Pact of Negation for two more Empty the Warrens. I think these two cards in conjunction with Leyline of Sanctity are the best way to deal with Death Shadow Jund, but we'll see if we run into the deck. Okay, it looks like we're playing against Merfolk. Perfect, our second land. This matchup's quite favorable. We just have to play a round of Filed In Curse Catcher. I think we're gonna crack a second fetch here to thin our deck a little bit. And we got Baral because he's a better blocker. Yeah, there's a Curse Catcher. So we aren't going to block here because he can Violent a Lord to pump his creatures. Okay, we're going to win this turn if he doesn't disrupt us. This is a very good hand. I don't think we're going to play these cards. Well, I think we will cast Manamorphose at this point. Our odds of drawing another ritual off Manamorphose are higher before we cast Gifts Ungiven. See, there we go. When you're playing around effects like Curse Catcher and Spell Pierce, you want to make sure you have at least 2 red mana floating, so that if you use a red mana to cast a ritual and then it gets countered to something, you still have something else to go off with. We're just going to get the standard package of 2 rituals, Manamorphose, and Pass in the Flames. Another thing he can do mid-combo is Vapor Snag or Baral to make everything cost a bit more. That's another thing we have to watch out for. When we cast Pass in the Flames, we have to make sure we have at least 2 mana floating. Now we're just going to get a Grape Shot and really anything else. We can kill him here. Okay, first turn 3 win. T3 wins. 1. 4 wins. 0. Okay, against Merfolk, the sideboard cards are Counter Magic and potentially Grafdigger's Cage or something like that. I like the first Echoing Truth, and I think I'll also bring in Cyclonic Rift here so that we have another way to bounce the Grafdigger's Cage, and quite frankly, it's not terrible to cast this to bounce the Lords and keep yourself alive for an extra turn. We don't really need Empty the Warrens here because they don't really have any good way to exile Grape Shot, and there's a real risk that we'll make a whole bunch of goblins, then they'll island walk through them all to kill us. I think I would like a Dispel and a Negate. So yeah, we have these 4 cards interact and maybe a value Grape Shot if it comes up. Okay, this hand's good. Oh, another thing to watch out about Merfolk is sometimes they do play spreading seas against us and keep it in after sideboard games. So if you're stuck with a single red source, you can lose it. So I'm going to lead with an island for that reason. The flooded strand solves that problem though. All we're looking at here is a couple more rituals and something to get us either a merchant scroll or a gifts ungiven. They also sometimes board and dismember, but as we have both Burrell and Electromancer, that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, what did they reveal? Retreat. Okay. I don't think we want to... Yeah, I think we'll just play a Ship and Reef here. Try to keep our life total a little bit high because they can do quite a bit of damage with Merfolk. I'm going to try to hold on to this Echoing Truth in case they play a Graph Digger's Cage, or to bail us out if we're about to lose due to them casting multiple lords or something like that. That's Burrell there earning his keep. He's an excellent blocker. Okay, we're going to just cast Sleight of Hands here. We're under no pressure and we can't really go off right now anyways. Yeah, it's another Sleight of Hand. I'm okay to take 1 damage here. Oh, Past in Flames, that's good. It's important to note sometimes if you don't have a Gifts Ungiven and you want a value combo off, by making extra mana with these rituals, Past in Flamesing, and then making extra blue mana with Manamorphose, we can recast all our cantrips, giving us a pretty high chance to draw into something good. Okay, he can file on a second Curse Catcher and has plenty of mana to cast something like Gifts Ungiven to have a counterspell or 2 up. He does have a lot of cards in hand. I think we're just going to pass here and try to Gifts at the end of his turn. That way if it's countered, we can just cast it from our graveyard next turn. Okay, so now he can't Curse Catcher us. Not through either file, at least. And I think to play around the Curse Catcher trigger, we're going to Manamorphose here. And we will Shock here to make sure we have some pain-free red mana. Yeah, it looks like Spell Pierce. Nope, that's fine. Okay, so we have tons of mana here, so we're just going to try and decide if there's value of casting Electromancer. I think there is, because it will make both our Past in Flames and our Gifts Ungiven cheaper. Okay, that's fine. I think we probably just want to get a negate at this point. We have Echoing Truth to bounce our stuff, and we can flashback Past in Flames next turn to go off. So yeah, let's get a negate. It's important also to not attack them with your Bells, because they can always bounce in a Harbinger of the Tides and put you back a turn, just like that. So he did reveal a rear jury, so he can flash that in at this point. So the one thing we can block safely is the Curse Catcher, because it can only be pumped by 2 at instant speed, and I don't think there's anything else at instant speed that makes it bigger. We'll take 6 here, but that leaves us with quite a bit of life. Yeah, that's where the negate comes in handy. So unless he has another counter spell, we can flash back past the flames and go off this turn. Ooh, that's another option here. Okay, we've burned through a Spell Pierce, a Negate, and a Dismember. He was stuck on lands for a couple turns. I think it's still worth trying to go off here. I think there's a good chance he has another creature. And we can always use Gifts and Given to find something else. That's not great. Okay, we're going to have to block this turn, and if he taps down our Electromancer, we will be losing. Down only 2 cards though, so we'll see. Also, if he flashes in a Lord or something, we lose, but that's okay too. Yeah, we're almost certainly dead here, because these cards won't go off by themselves. Ah, there's the Spreading Seat. Yeah, we lose here. Okay, so he had 3 counter spells and a removal spell, plus a Curse Catcher. That's a pretty good hand against us. That's a lot of interaction. Seeing what we saw here, if he's bringing in that many counter spells, I'm not certain he'll have Grafdigger's Cage. I think I still like this configuration, however. Could also cut a single Gift and Given for something, but I like that card as a way to win. Okay, we're gonna mulligan this. If this was a blue source, we'd be in business, but it's mountain, so we'll mulligan. Much better. This way we can set up with Serum Visions and a couple cantrips. Perfect, another land. Okay, we want a Lord here, and more mana. We don't have that, so we'll just throw those both to the bottom. I think we're going to shock ourselves here, because we're going to need this red source anyways, and I don't want our scry to get messed up. It's usually better to start with Sleight of Hand over Serum Visions. We want both of those. But I think the Electromancer is more important. I think we'll put that Grape Shot on top, so we have a way of clearing out a couple early Merfolk. So we'll put us behind a land, but that's okay. Okay, that's pretty great because... Okay, the question here is whether we... Because the second Aether Vial is significantly worse than the first here. And I don't think he had a 2-drop or he would have just played it. The question is whether we'd like to play around a Dismember, and I think we do. So we're going to just cast Sleight of Hand and look for another land. Yeah, like that. Okay, this means next turn we can cast Electromancer and hold up Negate. I think that's just a fair bit better. Curse Catcher. Yep. Okay, that's a rather excellent drop. Because we can double Ritual, Pass in Flames, Grape Shot, and then Cantrip a bit. Unfortunately, if he has Dismember, he can Curse Catcher to stop our Negate. But at least we're getting rid of the Curse Catcher and reducing our pressure a little bit here. He can activate his Mutavault and hit us for 5 this turn, potentially more if he has Lord. Yep. This will be 7. This effectively puts us on a 2-turn clock. Okay, at this point I think we have to cast a Ritual, Manamorphose, and try to generate enough Storm to kill at least one of these Lords. If he had another 2-cost Lord, he would have cast it here to buff his team. If he has anything, it's a Harbinger or a counterspell of some sort, or potentially another Dismember. We're going to cast the Ritual first, because if we Manamorphose into a Electromancer or a Baral, we can then cast the second one and cast Past in Flames. Yeah, looks like we're dead here. Not too bad. Opponent had a lot of interaction both games, which I think was enough to slow us down. We didn't have the best hand, so GG's.